Can MS make you crazy? We can all answer that one.
So yeah, I mean, crazy is different for everybody, and we all have a different degree of mental health. But yeah, I mean, it definitely impacts your mental health to some degree. We know that it causes changes in your brain just because of the lesions in the gray matter and because of brain atrophy. So it can definitely cause different neurological things to happen and cognitive things to happen. So yeah, we know. And just by virtue of having MS itself, we also know that you can get depression and anxiety too, just from the uncertainty of that. So yes, I mean, whatever crazy means to you, very subjective. Yes, I think so.
That's so awesome.
John, that makes me jump to you. You had read recently that they're testing for a drug for atrophy.
Again, I'm not an expert, and that's one of the things that we will bring experts into MS Insight to discuss. One of the big frontiers is neurology and clinical science. I mean, there are so many research things going on. Even Elon Musk, in the craziness of science fiction almost, is developing these chips that are going into pigs where he can see what they're dreaming. I mean, it's insane. So it's totally insane. So the level of research is amazing, which is a good thing. And there is research that's going into remyelination of the brain. There is a variant of the messenger RNA vaccine that's used for COVID that's currently in testing for helping to remyelinate. There are some disease-modifying therapies that look like they might help in cognition. So more to come, basically. I don't have a great answer up my sleeve of something that's sort of a magic bullet in this area, but there is a lot of work that goes into that. It does remind me of one thing. There was a famous study called the Nun Study, where there were a number of nuns that gave their bodies to science, and they did autopsies at the end of their lives. And they found that some of them had very severe degenerative changes based on the autopsies of their brains. But behaviorally, you couldn't really tell. And a lot of it is like what Jennifer was saying, is that they were journaling, or what Shirley was saying. They kept very intellectually active, journaling and documenting their gratitudes. And those things definitely help with resiliency and just our ability to take things on. For example, when someone becomes blind, the nerves aren't necessarily lost in the brain. There's growth in the areas of hearing and some of the other senses. So where places of deficit that occur can be compensated. There's a famous study too, the London cab drivers. They did studies of their brains with scans, and they found that they actually had larger hippocampus, the area that you process geography. One of the things that we've learned is that a lot of people thought that the only thing that could happen to your brain is that cells would die as you got older. We've learned that you can actually enhance cell growth and stimulate your brain and create new opportunities for growth. So, that's just an important thing, and it really does give us hope to, as Jennifer says, exercise our brains. If I exercise in the morning, there's an incredible different level of clarity in terms of things that I need to do for the day, and just it sets me up for success. And I think that, again, as Jennifer said, the ways of forming habit, do things for 2 weeks, but it does make a big difference to just start moving. It doesn't have to be a massive amount of movement. It just has to be just kind of get around, do what you can do. And that makes a big difference. And I think one of the things that always touched me is that, Alan was a very vital guy, and then he developed the MS, and when I saw him, I almost cried. I mean, he could barely walk with a cane, and he was just so like defeatist and defeated. And then he would call me, and we got our Apple Watches, and he was always into tech, and he would tell me, John, how many steps did you do today? And I was always like afraid to tell him, but he said, I did 20 today. And I said, that's fantastic, because all of us have our own relative scale of what success is. And we can't compare ourselves to others. All we can do is be our best selves and just try. And I think in this day of being connected and just trying to, support each other is to, tell people, just be grateful for what we have and do the best that we can with it. So it kind of goes with the brain too. I'm sorry to kind of wax philosophic, but it kind of speaks to the fact that we're blessed with so many things, and we really need to keep learning like we are, and we're trying to share information here, and just grasp the things and the advantages that we have. That we live in a great age, and there's more and more things that are being developed.
I did 14 steps today.
Yay.
Go.
Excellent.
It's really important to acknowledge that we're all just sort of doing the best that we can with what we have. And no matter what degree of ability we have, we're all carrying something. We're all dealing with something. So just kind of being compassionate toward ourselves and understanding that we are trying to do our best, but we can't do what we can't do, and to other people. And so, yeah, I think this has been a great discussion, and thank you for letting me kind of be an advocate for people with invisible disabilities, and take care of yourselves and love yourselves. And thank you so much.